Cats! People can't seem to get enough of them. I mean, personally, I can, considering I'm horribly allergic, but that still hasn't stopped the internet from being a near ceaseless font of cat memes since its inception. But we're not here to talk about the cat memes, regrettably. We're here instead to talk about Stray Doom, which I don't think anyone will have heard about at all. It's been pretty kind of low-key and underground as far as mods go lately. But yes, taking its cues from Stray, which released just over a week earlier to the release of this mod, Stray Doom takes that central conceit, allowing you to explore an environment as a cat, and pretty much drops that central conceit directly into Doom. Now, considering cats don't have thumbs, and God help us if they ever develop them, the issue of how exactly you're supposed to shoot demons in the face is solved thanks to the addition of a helper drone, which takes care of the ballistic busy work. After that, all you really need to do is navigate, occasionally meow at stuff, and enjoy the idle animation that plays when you decide it's time to engage in the most cat-like of all behaviors and just be a lazy pile of fur on the floor. There is one significant addition, however, that Stray Doom provides that thoroughly surpasses that of its source inspiration in Stray, and that would be the ability to kit your kitty out with a tiny Space Marine helmet. Look it! It's got tiny cat ears! So, naturally, what with this mod releasing so soon after the release of Stray itself and being picked up by so many mainstream gaming outlets, it has absolutely caught fire in terms of coverage by the internet at large. I mean, just look at all these friggin' videos. Even Civi had a go of it. I'll be honest, on that front, I'm not entirely sure what new perspective I could bring to the table when it comes to Stray Doom. Though, that said, this is Doom mod madness, and oh hey, would you look at that? A copy of Russian Overkill. I wonder what would happen if I smashed it together with Stray Doom. There's just this wonderful kind of primal joy that comes from strapping the most over-the-top ridiculous weaponry you can get your hands on to the back of a cat. You can probably imagine the maniacal laughter that emitted from my face hole upon discovering that these two actually work decently enough together, but that said, decently enough belies the fact that there are a few caveats to having these two working in tandem. For one, you don't get to enjoy the wonderful sprite work that's gone into the weaponry here in Russian Overkill, and trust me, it's some really nice stuff, especially when you get to the upper echelon super weapons. On a similar front regarding the guns, the way that Stray Doom interacts with the weapon roster here is just a little screwy. Sometimes you will only be able to access one gun at any particular time, regardless of how many weapons you'll have acquired during your run. This led, amusingly, to me just having to dump out my inventory of guns to figure out what one I wanted to play with next, which really just helps illustrate the wonderful range of weaponry you have access to here in Russian Overkill. Probably the most egregious incompatibility with Stray Doom and Russian Overkill, however, and with any mod that allows it for that matter, is that once you exceed 200 points of health, the cat kind of flops down dead. You'd think this would put a dampener on proceedings, but no, you're still able to carry on and play. It's just that you're gonna have that cat slide around unceremoniously on the floor as you do so. Oh, and let's not forget the helmet. That seems to forget the whole flopping down dead side of things. There is a way to actually reverse this when it happens, however, and that is actually losing enough health to fall below 200. That's actually more difficult than it sounds here in Russian Overkill, because it's designed with over-health in mind, and over-armor for that matter, which just completely gums up the works when it comes to losing enough health to fall below that parameter. Not to mention, if you are rocking the sub-200 health for aesthetic cat purposes, you are entirely running the risk of just getting completely flattened by the absurd area of effect that's delivered by some of the higher power weaponry here. Now, some of you out there may think this is quite the simple fix, just adjust the parameters so that they can deal with excessive degrees of health in mods such as this, but I respectfully disagree, because there's a better way. A way that is objectively superior, and when you hear it, I'm sure you'll all come to the same conclusion. Put the cat on a Roomba. Genius. And this also compensates for an additional bit of weirdness where sometimes the cat doesn't recognize that you're moving it around and falls into the idle animation where it sits down and eventually falls asleep. The Roomba would solve everything here. Just put it on the Roomba, you can continue on your business, the cat doesn't have to be bothered by anything, and you can create as much carnage and death as you desire. But after all that, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I've kind of run out of things to say about Doomstray combined with Russian Overkill. So instead, have Doomstray combined with High Noon Drifter. Ride 'em, cowboy! In all seriousness though, it's a fun little mod. In its vanilla form, it's cute, it's very straightforward, and was turned out in an astonishingly short amount of time. I wouldn't mind seeing more bells and whistles added to it in later updates. The aforementioned Roomba mode, for example, comes to mind. And I don't know about you, but I feel like something is lost when none of the weapons you acquire really reflect themselves in the visuals of the drone that shoots them. It's a tricky fix, I know, but something tells me that having a physical rocket launcher strapped to the side of that drone would just make it a little bit more visually pleasing. Heck, why even stop there? Strap one to either side of the drone. Dual wielding! But anyway, enough hypotheticals. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a lot of fun to make. And if you're new here, feel free to stick around for future editions of Doom Mod Madness. Hit the subscribe, ring the bell, all of that delicious YouTube bullshit that I've got to wade through to get engagement here. And until next time, this has been Mr. Icarus. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.